Howdy, howdy, everybody. Howdy, howdy. Um, Let me know when you can see it, Giz. Ba-dum-bum. There we go. Oh, it's loud compared to the music, or hold, hold on, just 1 second. Okay, to let me know when you can still hear the music and my mic's not too loud. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Turn my music up. Okay. There we go. And then it's a good level mix.
Yeah, I think so. You wrote even. Your voice is a little bit louder than the music, but other than that, it sounds good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the idea is that you're supposed to be able to barely hear the music.
Yeah, no, you're in a good
Good range. Okay.
I think it's good. I'll stay tuned in your stream, but I'm probably gonna join back for a bit.
Yeah, no problem.
Focus on your stream. You have a good night there, Captain. I'll stay in your stream.
Yeah, no
Can you
problem.
post in my Discord?
Yep, I'll post it here in a minute.
If you want, it's up to you. I don't really, it's up, your choice.
There we go. All right.
Be brief, be joyful, and huge.
So, can you hear yourself on my Twitch trend or no?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay, just double checking.
Don't want
All
to
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. For everybody who's here, we're going to be doing chess puzzles. We're actually going to be we're going to start from beginner puzzles, and we're going to walk through them. I anticipate that we're going to get through quite a few of them, but I wanted to take this stream and kind of teach people how to do chess puzzles. There was a game called Watchdog that came out a good while ago now, a couple years ago, and one of the things that was in it was chess puzzles, and my friend came over to me and he was like, hey, they have these mate in 1, 2, and 3 puzzles on the game and I can't figure them out. And I had a fun time teaching him how to do the chess puzzles, but it's really important if you want to get better at chess just in general to be able to do puzzles and do them consistently and kind of fine-tune your skills. There's a lot that goes into puzzles, and I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. I'm going to try to capture all of the motifs on the screen. I've put notes to improve, but I'm actually going to change that real quick so that it's actually it actually says motifs, things that we should be looking out for. I think motifs is that. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and spread that a little bit. And these are just things that you should be looking for whenever you get the opportunity to, because it's going to be immensely helpful for you when you're looking to do harder puzzles, or when you're just playing chess. You get to a point where you're going to be playing, over the board chess, you're going to be playing, 5-minute chess, and these are going to be motifs. So motifs are going to just be patterns, things that you see on a regular basis. That's going to help you to improve and your visualization skills. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the motifs. We're probably going to go through, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 ELO levels. I believe that the chess.com starts you off at 400 puzzles, and we're going to go ahead and do 400 to 700. We're going to go ahead and keep track of the motifs. We're going to count how many moves in advance that we're moving, and I have a couple of rules for myself. The first rule is going to be that I'm not going to make a move until I can see everything to the very end. So if I haven't looked at all of the different options, then I'm not going to um, continue. I'm not gonna play a move until I know for certain that that's what it is. And that's super hard to do if you're just starting out in puzzles. Is take that patience to make sure that the moves that you're making are correct, because if it's a 4-move combination and you only see 3 of those moves and you get 1 and then 2 and then 3 correct, and then you're not thinking about it and you make your 4th move and it's an incorrect one, the entire puzzle is wasted. Yet you got 75% of the way correct, but you might not get that kind of, it's still a wrong puzzle. You still did it incorrectly. You still got it wrong. And so it's really important to go from the beginning to the end and look at all of the different options. So again, these first couple 100 levels are going to be more motifs, more of me showing you what I'm looking for, what I'm looking at, pointing them out, making a list of them here, and hopefully getting you to the point where you can do puzzles in the 400 to 700 puzzle range. And if you're stuck in this range, just keep track of the motifs. I'm sure there's other ones that we'll come across later on. And again, make sure that you're looking at the puzzle all the way through rather than just thinking that you know it and playing the moves automatically. On to the puzzles. So the very first one we have here is a white to move puzzle, 400. I'm going to take my time here. There's no reason to rush. All this timer does is assess how quickly you can solve it, and it might reduce the amount of points that you get, but as long as you're getting it right, you're still going up in points. And my goal with this stream is to get everybody to doing Grandmaster puzzles if I can. That would be fantastic. When you start out on a puzzle, there's a whole bunch of pieces on the board usually. The very first thing that you want to look for is checks and captures. That's you're going to hear it a million times, checks and captures. So in this case, the checks that I see are the rook over. The captures that I see are this capture, the pawn capture. So let's see. This is the only check that I see. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that, and then capture. I see this capture. The knight can't capture anything. So it's just this one and this one. Again, I don't see any other captures. So the very first thing we're going to do is look at checks. So I'm going to move this here. And if I move my rook over, that's check. I'm threatening to take the king, right? And he's got to move it or block the check. So he can't move forward because the rook can still take him. And if you notice, he can't move here because the knight can take him. So he can't move. Now let's look at the ways that he can defend the position. And in this position, he doesn't have any pieces that he can move in front of it. And so that's just mate. He can't get out of away from the checks. And so he's going to be mated. So we're just going to go ahead and move over. And there you go. And 5 points. Took us 2 minutes, but we solved the puzzle. Get all of our... Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Got two achievements, which is great. And we're just going to... Let's go ahead and solve this one real quick. And then we're just going to move on to... Oh, it gave me... That's funny. It gave me more points. It shouldn't be doing that. All right. On to the next one. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at checks. This is a check. I don't see any other checks. These pawns can't check. And a check is just threatening to take the king. Again, you can't move next to the king. That's not illegal. That's illegal. So that's the only check there is in the position. And then as far as captures go, this king can't capture the pawn because this pawn is protecting it. So that's not a legal move. And I don't see any other captures. None of the pawns can capture anything. They're not close enough. And so we're going to look at this only check. And again, we notice that the king can't go here to take his pawn, and he can't move. He's got to get off this back rank, or else the rook is going to take him. And if he's stepping closer to our king is illegal. Those are not good moves, and that's all the moves he has. So this is checkmate. And we got 2 in a row, and got rid of the 7 points that it gave us before. Good. And if you notice, our strategy actually went down. Our number actually went down because we took our time. It took us 57 seconds, and we actually went down. Oh no, it's saying we went down because, yeah, it was discounting the previous one. That's fine. All right. So our king. This is another thing that you should be looking at, is what was the last move that was made. In this case, the king stepped back, and he stepped back because the bishop was looking at this square. So this was check. So the king was stepping back to get out of check, and let's look at just let's look at all the checks. So I see that this is a check, and that's it. I don't see any other checks. And let's look at captures, and this bishop doesn't look at anything. This knight can't capture anything. Just going to go ahead and point out all the places they can go. And this rook can't take anything. It has nothing that it's looking at. The king and the pawn are too far away from anything. And so this is the only check. So we're going to look at the check, and we notice that, okay, the king can't move to any of these squares. He's got to get away from those squares. It can't move here because the bishop is looking at it. And it can't move here or here because the knight is looking at those squares. And because of that, and the fact that there's no way to block on this square, this is mate. And there you go. You got mate and 1. All right, 3 in a row. Not gonna go with a free trial. Let me see if I can. Let me go back real quick. Oh, I didn't realize that I had to pay for the thing. Hold on. just realized I was muted. Fantastic. I wonder how long I was muted for, because I must not have been muted for very long. Unless I was muted the whole time. And if that's the case, then that's fine. I'll get on here and I'll do a couple other puzzles. I'll probably jump on to chess.com and do them. Yeah. I'll probably, I'll jump back to chess.com probably for the next one and then actually pay for a membership over there so that I don't have to worry about going through and solving, you know, only 5 problems each day. So, but yeah, before I leave off, Soup, did you wanna play a game, or are you just here to? Were you just here to watch? Because I don't mind playing the people who view me. I appreciate it. So. Oh, nice. What's your puzzle rating? Yeah, the puzzles are really nice. I started off the stream talking about how the first time that I encountered like a lot of puzzles was in Watchdog when it first came out. They had the one move, 2 move, and 3 move checkmates. Oh, nice. Watchdog. Yeah, it was a PlayStation game. Yeah, they had some cafes that you could go into, and for an achievement or something like that, you could play. You could do these puzzles, these 1, 2, and 3 move checkmates. It was really interesting. Yeah, it was. My friend came over and was showing me. But yeah, that's awesome. If that's the case, what I might do is, yeah, go back and play it. Some of them were really tough too. What I might do is I might go over to my actual profile and see about doing one or 2 puzzles real quick. I usually go under Lucky Larry Live, but I was doing puzzles on my own, but I haven't done them on Lead Chess in a long time. Trying to remember my password. Oh, you know what? I think that it's. Hold on. There we go. All right. So yeah. So this is mine, and I haven't done puzzles on this forever. I switched over because that was the best thing to do. So we'll take a look at a couple of puzzles here and see if there's any progress we can make on this one. All right, so checks and captures. See 1 capture, not good. 2 captures, not particularly good. I do notice that this attacks the bishop. So moving our bishop would be good. They only have 1 piece on dark squares. Everything else is on light squares. Alright, so I'm seeing an idea here, which is here, rook comes down for the check, picking up the... Oh, yep, I can do that. Not a problem. Yeah, I think this is the continuation. You can't come here because I just take. Otherwise, the rook is coming down here. I think the best move in this spot, once you move here, is probably to castle to get out of it, and then we take the bishop for free. Looks pretty promising. I mean, I think just to make sure that we don't lose our own rook, go here. It's the same idea, basically. We're attacking the bishop. Ooh, oh, okay, so now the bishop is protecting the rook, so now this doesn't work immediately. We do just have to take the bishop. But there you go. That's a hell of a lot of points. Holy hell. That's a lot of points. I didn't realize. It's probably because I haven't played this in forever. I haven't done the puzzles in forever. Yeah, the check now, but they have castles, I think. You can just castle get out of it. Something like this would probably be the next best continuation, trying to get the rook active in here, get the other rook to this file. Just in general. Let's go to the scratch and move this down a little bit. There we go. Yep. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We'll do a couple. Let's see if we can reach 2,500. Well, that's not gonna be too hard, I guess, if we're gonna get 65 points each time. All right. This looks like a zigzag position, and what I mean by that is like this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. So we gotta. It almost looks like we have to lose a tempo here, which is interesting. Oh, you know what? Actually, this might work. I just thought about the fact that this pawn really doesn't have defender after this. So this might be a little bit. This is a spot where the first person to make a move should really be making the move. So here we take, right? So that doesn't really make a lot of sense for them. They'd have to. This is probably the best for them, and then we go here. And then they move in with their king. I think that we can just push here. Right? So here. I really don't see them pushing this. Like that just seems too you're leaving too many things on the board, right? You want to give them an opportunity. So here takes. Oh, but my pawn's not here anymore, is it? But I am one step away from the king. So let's assume that he follows us. Here, I'm just picking up this pawn for free. And then it's a 2-on-1 on this side, so I don't think he'll do that. I think that if here takes, he's probably going to play this. And then if he does that, I have to kind of come back, don't I? And then here, and then here. And then from there... Oh, it's another zigzag position where I really don't want to move anything. His pawn's right here. So I don't want to move this because he'll take, and I don't want to move this because he'll take. So again, I have to force him to make a move. So I'm imagining the white king here and the black king here. I mean, he really still has attack, so we're going to go here and then here. And that's bad for him because now he only has one spot to go to, unless he's going to push these pawns, in which we just looked at that. That's winning. And if he moves down, I could just push the pawn, takes, and now I'm winning on this side of the board as well. So I think that's good. So just to follow up here, takes here. Ooh. King f4, king e3 or e6, king g5, king f7, king h6, king f6, and then if he moves down, then we just push the g to g5. If he doesn't take, let's say he moves up, then we can take. He has to take here, and then we move the king to g4 to both protect our pawn and to take this pawn. I think that's just winning. So he decides to go over on this side, and he doesn't take the pawn. So I didn't anticipate this. This is the one move that I didn't look at. So we're gonna go. If we go takes, he can actually take with the king, and that's a really annoying move. So we probably don't want to do that. If we push, he can move closer, and I don't think he's stopping any of that. So that's another annoying move. The question is, I hate these kind of moves. I think do we just push the pawn here? If we push the pawn, he can't move here. He can't move closer. So he'd have to waste like a tempo. Let's say he moves up here. Then I think we could just go for this. And if we go here, yeah, I really don't see a follow-up for that for him. If he goes here, he can't push the pawn because I would just take. So maybe he comes back. But if he comes back to this side, can I force him all the way over? And then I push this pawn. And he can't really take because then I just push through, right? So if our pawn's here and I get his kings over here and I push, takes here, here. Yeah, he's not in time to stop it. So, oh, it's not. That's not it. Oof. Yeah, so I thought so deep on the other line. I must have missed something on this then. Is this not winning for black? Oh, because maybe he could just sit here and go back and forth. Okay. Well, I don't really want to allow him to take this. Can I push the pawn? Let's say he takes then. Here, here. I guess he's just stuck constantly to defend this pawn when it's here, and he can't really attack it without pushing his pawn forward. Yeah, that's it. Oh, all the calculation in the world still didn't save me. But yeah, that's it right there. I guess that, and we're gonna look at it real quick, just to make sure. Like, if he moves over and we push this pawn, it's just zeros. Yeah, that's what it is. I should have seen that. This isn't fast enough. Oh, but because it's protected pass pawn. So I have to. Oh, I put myself in zigzwang. That's what it is. By pushing that, I push myself into zigzwang. I don't have a good move. Yeah, I'm surprised he wouldn't take. I can't move any fast. Yeah, so it's just zigzwang. Wow, that's a little instructive. Instructive. Yeah, that's the other word. Oh, okay. All these pawn and king. Pawn and king end games. They get tricky. So we know this structure pretty well. This is the diamond structure. These are facing each other. So I guess the only question here is it a king move or is it a pawn move? This is the only good pawn move. I think that if he doesn't take, it's a mistake, right? There's no way. I'm going to guess that it's probably one of those things where it's like a waiting move as well. So, like, I push this. He takes. He kind of has to take, right? Because let's say he doesn't take. Let's say he just moves the king closer. If I push, he takes it. But I can capture it, this pawn, and then he moves over. But now my pawn's not in the way, so I'm just going to go here. Or wait. Hold on, let me back that up. Here. Let's say he moves here. Ooh, he moves here. I take. He moves closer. I move closer. He takes my pawn. I go here. He can't defend this pawn. And he's not in time on the other side. So that's not going to work. He's got to take this. So he takes. I take. And I bet you that this is the move that he makes. And then my move isn't to go after the pawn right away. It's to move down first. To force him to go away from everything. And then I run over for the pawn. That's probably the best solution. And that's, yeah, king c5. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, I was just looking at the different, yeah, that's the idea. Take the b pawn, trade off the c and b pawns, so that you can take on the a pawn. Yeah, the pawn move isn't the part that I'm worried about. It's after that. I think that he's going to play king e4, and I need to make sure that I make the right move after that, which I think is going to be king c5, because with king c5 it forces him to make a move away from d5. He can't get into d5, and so he's got to move away from it, which is kind of funny. It puts him one step further away. He can't come down because my pawn's protecting it, and my king is still close enough. What would normally happen is you would takes. He moves down, and you think you can move over here, but then I think that you get in trouble with that, or maybe he can force a draw by being really close to you. But you force him one step away further. You want to keep him away from e4, or from d5. You want to keep him away from d5. So we're gonna. Oh, so he doesn't even play that. This is ridiculous. Why would you ever play like this? I'll show that line after this. Obviously, the continuation is weird. All right, so now the only move I see is here. King here. King here. King steps in front is tricky, right? Ooh, maybe that's not it. Maybe that's not it. So I was thinking here, but then he king, plays king here. If I move here to protect the pawn, he actually has this move here, and then I don't have a good move. Because if I move here, then he takes my pawn, and he's protecting his. So I don't think that's the move. I think that the move is over. And then he's got to move back, right? Because if he doesn't move back, then I'm just better here. This has got to be the move. Oh gosh, I just don't understand. That's not the right move. Wait, what? Oh, you actually had to force him up the board to take. Wow. These I swear to goodness, man. These king and pawn endgames are killing me. This is why Magnus Carlsen would frickin' destroy me. So. Oh, okay. So yeah, best move. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and show you what I was talking about. So I thought that the best move was for them to take, which the computer is saying is the best. So I guess that I don't know why they wouldn't do that. Oh, I guess they thought about it. But yeah, so I was contemplating this, and then the best move isn't to go after this pawn. It's actually to play king c5 to stop the king from going to d5, and the king actually has a step away from d5, which actually gives me it wins 2 tempo, because now he has to move back and then once more to get to where he wanted to go. And by that time I'm just winning this. But what I missed was that he doesn't have to take the pawn. He could push. Because I thought I didn't realize that after this that I then had to push the pawn again. That's crazy to think that pushing the pawn again and then again, so that the king is forced to take and then moving over. Yeah, that's some Magnus Carlsen level stuff. Eat those pawns, then run A. And the goal there is to distance his king from your pawn. It's to distance his king from his pawns, so that your pawn has time to advance to the corridor your king makes. Yeah. Otherwise, you can get really funky positions out of this. So, for instance, what I was looking at before was Hold on. Okay, so what I was looking at before was this, 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 and let's say you just go over to this corner. This is actually a stalemate because the king has the ability to just keep you. No? Oh, I guess not. I guess this is drawn because the king can get over here faster. My goodness, this is complicated. You don't really want to take that as your king, right? I guess you do. Oh, can't do that. It's just a really complicated endgame. My goodness. But yeah, there's a lot of tricks in the king pawn endgame, so. Wouldn't your pawn promote be fast enough to take care of not too much pawns on though? Yeah, you would think that, but it's not. It's too much. The white king basically gobbles up the pawns on g7, f6, and h6. Yeah, it's really interesting to think about that. You would think that you're just fast enough, but you're not. And this constantly comes up where this. I can't believe that this is the result, is that you just have to push this pawn 3 times, and it's so hard to find because for every single pawn move that you make, if somebody sees the solution to this, they're like, oh yeah, you're just constantly pushing the pawn, and then he takes, and then you move in and you capture his pawns. But that's not the case. You constantly have to look at every single continuation, like this continuation, where you're just like, you have to find the best moves in certain situations. I mean, that alone will get you stuck. So, and then, yeah, that's tricky. Tricky stuff. Yeah, lots of counting, lots of, you know, you have to be able to maintain the the board in your head for those different situations, and remember those lines as well. Like, you can do all the calculation that you want, but then when your opponent makes one of the moves, you don't want to have to sit there and calculate the same line again. You got to remember it. That way you can double. You don't have to keep double and triple and quadruple checking yourself, or else you're going to be at the board forever. So be prepared. Yeah. Yeah, and with that, obviously I'll come back and I'll do more puzzles on stream, but it's getting really late where I'm at, so I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for stopping in, Soup. Feel free to check back in anytime. I'm going to hopefully do this on a more regular basis, and I don't know who I would raid. I don't even know. I don't know how to raid. Hold on. Let me see. File. Done. Taylor Zeus? Sure. How do I go to... Oh, really? I'll do that then. Hold on. In your own chat, and it'll start a 5-second raid counter. Oh, listen. You know this better than I do. Hold on. Always good to show love. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Taylor Zeus. Taylor Zeus. Twitch. Go to my own stream. I don't have it up on my phone or anything, so. Oop. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Raid. And then he's also playing chess. Nice. Oh, we're in the Matrix. Taylor Zeus. Intended for mature audiences. There you go. All right. There we go.
thank you for the sub. And very nice to see you as well. I think the only thing that... Well, does this work? I think this is the only thing that works. Yeah, this is the only thing that works. Okay. Only a move that works, I just realized. I know you're planning out your demise of me right now. For 2 keyboards. Yeah, I have a keyboard now. Thank you for the follow, Lucky Larry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciated. I don't know why the same song is playing again. Alright, here we go. Man. Really got my balls in the salad shooter here.
That blunders a king.
I probably fucked it up. I probably had like a chance to win and I probably fucked it up. I probably messed the order up. I know I probably should have had the advantage there.